No, no issues. Okay, children. So we'll start computer networking subject. The last session, right? Okay. So again, you know already about protocols as we discussed earlier. A protocol is a set of procedures which explain a service, how a service is provided through a network. Network එක කරා service එක provide කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක explain කරන්නේ protocols වලින්. Right? So again, so we discuss about the today we're going to discuss about some additional protocols as well. So a protocol suite is a collection of protocols, right? So there is a protocol suite which is called TCP/IP. So this TCP/IP protocol suite explains how addressing method works in a network, how we can uniquely identify a computer. What is the mechanism for that? That is explained in TCP/IP protocol. So children, IP is the main protocol which we use to identify a computer in a network. Network ඇතුළත computer identify කරන්න පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ IP address එක. So you can see this is a sample example. Here you can see the IP address 217.160.87.6. There you can see there is a special pattern that we use to write an IP address. So that is we're going to write an IP address with 4 sections separate with a dot like this. So normally an IP address has 32 bits. So these 32 bits are divided into 8 portions of 8 bits. Again, each 8 bit is separated with a dot. So children, if we are using binary notifications to indicate these 8 bits, if we use those binary notification, you can see the smallest number that we can write is 0. Again, the maximum number is when we use all ones, that is maximum number. So that is 255. Then children, you can aware that for each portion of this IP address, we can use a number in between 0 and 255. Right? So we can write more than 4 billion IP addresses using this pattern. Right, children. So if I write an example, 100.2.5.50.3. Again, 1.0.0.5. So like that, I can write 4 billion different IP addresses. Okay. So this IP address is used to identify a computer in a network uniquely. Right. Again, children, there is another thing that you must aware. In an IP address, there are 2 portions. One is called network, the other one is host. If I write some phone numbers here, did I explain this earlier? No, right? Okay. Right, so if I write some phone numbers like 077, okay, so here I have written several phone numbers, some phone numbers here. Right. So children, what is the service for? Who is the service provider of this number? Main number is service provider.
Dialog.
Dialog. Yes, this is Dialog. This one.
Dialog.
Also Dialog. This one.
Dialog.
Dialog. This one.
Mobitel.
This one.
Mobitel.
Mega.
Hutch.
Hutch, right? So how did you identify that? Using this 077, 076 like that, right? So that means even these phone numbers also, there are two portions. You can divide it from here. Right? This portion belongs to the network. This is dialog network. This is dialog network. This is Mobitel network. So all the Mobitel numbers, they have 071 or 070, right? So this part is called as the host part. This number varies with the user, right? So in phone numbers, the network portion is fixed. We call that fixed length. Only 3 digits are used to define the network portion of a phone number. But in IP addresses, that varies. So normally, we identify 3 classes in IP address. So you know already that there are 4 portions of IP address with 8 bits. So in these IP addresses, the network portion varies from here. We can divide it from here, here, and here. So only first octal is belong to the network. Here, first 2 octals belong to the network. Here, first 3 octals, right? So even in a phone number, you know that we can't change this part, right? Always I have to use 07 and 7776 like that. We have to use the given number. We can't change that. If we're going to use a dialog phone number, we have to use 077, 06074, right? We can't change that. This part we can change. We can change means we can accept any number, right? So here also the same. If we define the network IP as class A IP, we can't change this portion. If it is B, we can't change this part. If it is C, we can't change this part. Okay, children. So class A IP addresses. So normally with an IP address, what we're going to do, we are going to write another number that is called subnet mask. Subnet mask. So this subnet mask explains or represent what is the division point of the IP address for this network and host portions, right? So what you must understand here, normally you know that in an IP address there are 32 bits. For example, if I write a number dot so this is an IP address. So if I write the decimal format of this one here, 128 plus 30 and then 41, right? However, 141. So here and then 82. This is 8, 10, 11. This is again 11. No, sorry, 13, right? Okay. So this is the IP address 141.182.13. So again, we can write the subnet mask also here. Assume that we are going to divide this number from this point. Then what we're going to do, we're going to write the subnet mask by indicating that this part, the right side, is belong to the network. So to indicate that the network portion, we use 1. මේ network portion එක indicate කරන්න අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා 1. අනිත් පැත්තවල බිංදුව. like this. So if I convert this to decimal form, this is 255.0.0.0, right? Then if I divide the number from here, then what will happen? So we have to represent all these bits with 1 dot. So these are 0, right? Then if I again convert that to binary, 255.255.0.0. The other part is 255.0.0, right? So this indicates this division, this one for this one, and this is class C. So now children, what you must understand, with every IP address, we have to write the subnet mask. So using the subnet mask, we are going to indicate that what is the division point to separate this IP address as network and host portions. හැම IP address එකකම අපි subnet mask එකක් ලියන්න ඕනේ. subnet mask එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ. So subnet mask එක ලියන්නේ අපි identify කරන්න subnet mask එකෙන් network portion එකට කොච්චරක් අයිතිද, host portion එකට කොච්චරක් අයිතිද කියන එක. There is another thing, that is there is a definition for this subnet mask. Actually it's a definition like a predefined method to identify the subnet mask, that is if the first number is first digit, sorry, first octal, මේ first octal එක මත තීරණය කරනවා subnet mask එක මොකක්ද කියලා IP address එකක. So if the first digit in between 120 and 127, that will be class A IP address. Class A means subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0. Again, if this is between 128 to 191, then this is class B IP address. So the subnet mask should be 255.255.0.0. 192 to 223. So then the IP address will be, sorry, subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0. Right? So like that, there is a method to identify the subnet mask of an IP address by just looking at the first octal of the IP address. හැදලිද? මේ පළවෙනි එක දිහා නම්බර් එක දිහා බලලා අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් මේකේ class A ද B ද C ද කියලා. Depending on the class, we can define the subnet mask. So the subnet mask indicate which portions are belong to the network part and which portions are belong to the host part. The division point is indicated by the subnet mask. Right. Let me clear this. Okay, children. So now if I write an IP address like 50.70.5.3, just tell me the class of this IP address. There are 3 classes: A, B, C. A 0 to 127, 128 to 191, 192 to 223. So this is class A IP address. Therefore, the subnet mask should be 0.0.0, right? That means the IP address will be divided from this point. If this IP address is assigned to us, we can't change 50. We must use 50, and for these numbers we can change accordingly. Again, for each of these numbers, we can have only a number between 0 and 255. Okay. Next one, 201.5.30.6. What is the class? Yes, this is class C. Therefore, subnet mask should be 255.255.255.0. Again, if I write 178.201.5.3. So what is the class? It's class B, right? 255.0. Sorry. .0.0. right? Like that, you must be able to identify the subnet mask of an IP address by just looking at the first octal of the IP address. So children, in Janet, there is no class called N, right?
No, sir, it's a mistake.
හරි හරි B type කරලා මට තේරුණා. Okay. Right. Okay, children. Now, the Internet Society is the authority which which handles these IP addresses. Okay, right. So again, the world is divided into 5 regions. The world is divided in 5 regions: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that, right? Okay. So however, we are belong to the ethnic region. Then in the world, the 4 billion, we have 4 billion IP addresses. These 4 billion IP addresses are divided into these 5 regions, depending on the population. So children, now we have an IP address portion. අපි උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මේ ඇප්නික් එකට තියෙනවා අපි තුමු 100 ඉඳලා 150 දක්වා කියලා. මේ පළවෙනි ඔක්ටල් එක හරිද? Again in the ethnic region there are I think 7 countries, right? So again these IP addresses are divided among these countries. Each of the country they have ISPs. In Sri Lanka we have Dialog, SLT, Mobitel, Hutch, Airtel, like that. Several IPs are there, ISPs are there. So these IP addresses are now divided with these ISPs. Now these ISPs, they will divide their IP addresses among their customers. So if you're going to have an internet connection, your ISP, internet service provider, will draw a cable to our house and then will assign a public IP address to our location. Then we can connect with the world. So like that, these IP addresses are divided among ISPs, internet service providers. Assume that we have a company and we need multiple IP addresses. So then they will divide a portion of the IP addresses and that will assign to our company. So for example, the IP address provided us that like, let's say 205.30.2.0, right? Then children, this is a class C IP address. Therefore, this part is fixed. Like class C එකක් ඉඳන් මේක වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ අපිට. So we can use any number between 225 in our network. මේක වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. මෙතන ටික අපිට වෙනස් කරලා පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So if the IP address has an IP address assigns like අපි දුන්නා කියලා 160යි 5යි 3යි බිංදුව කියලා. So then we can't change this part. We can use any number for these 2 portions. මෙතෙන්ට ඕන number එකක් පාවිච්චි කරලා අපිට මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන computers වලට assign කරන්න පුළුවන් IP addresses. Right? So like that, this is called the network part of the IP address. ඒ කීප ටික තේරුණාද ඔයාලට? Children, now what happened? In a network, we use computers. We're going to connect them with a switch and with a router. Again, there are number of routers outside. Right? Okay, so there are thousands of networks which are connected with these routers. Connected networks product. Now, again, you must aware when we just consider one network. If I just consider this network, this is a LAN, local area network. Again, if I consider this one, this is also a local area network. This is another local area network. These are separate networks, right? So මේ නිකන් හිතන්න ඔයාලා නිකන් රටේ කියලා රටේ ගත්තොත් මොනවද දිස්ත්‍රික්ක පළාත් තියෙනවා පළාත් ඇතුලේ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක තියෙනවා දිස්ත්‍රික්ක ඇතුලේ ගම් තියෙනවා නේද? ඒතර මේක ගමක් වගේ. මේක තව ගමක්. මේ ඔක්කොම පාරවල් වලින් කනෙක්ට් වෙලා තියෙනවා. මේ තමයි පාරවල්. Right? So now if we consider a village, the village has a name. So everyone who belongs to that village must use that village name in the address. Address එක හැමෝම මේ ගමේ නම පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ. If we consider Vyome University as one organization, if someone going to send letters to you for your official address, then everyone must address your name and then they must write Vyome University of Sri Lanka Koliyapiti. So that is your domain. So like that, when we just consider one network, these networks has a network address. We call that network IP. Again, these networks has another one that is called broadcast IP. And the IPs belong to these ones called as host IPs. And here this point, this is the point where all the data are going to access outside networks, go out from the network. So this point is called as the gateway. Gateway is the point where all the data are going to access outside. My data on a gateway. So children, if we just consider a network, there are 4 different IPs, IP addresses we must identify in a network. Children, for example, if I just write an IP address 192.168.5.0, okay. So now you must aware that this is the network part and this is the host part. So as the network IP, we use the first IP of the network. First IP. So then what should be the network IP here? 192.16.8.5, right? 168.5.0 is the network IP. Again, children, we use the last IP as the broadcast IP. So broadcast IP is used to access or represent all the devices in the network. If I were to send a message to all the devices in the network, then I should send that to the broadcast IP. So network IP is used to identify the network. Broadcast IP is used to represent all the network, all the hosts or devices in the network. So normally the last IP of the network will be considered as the broadcast IP. So here you know that in this IP address we can use numbers from 0 to 255, right? So then 255 is the last number. So broadcast IP will be 192.168.5.255 is the broadcast IP. It's the last one, last IP of the network. Again, first host IP will be used as the gateway. So the IPs in between 0 and 255 are considered as host IPs. The first host IP is the gateway IP. So then that will be 192.168.5.1, right? That's the first host IP. All the other host IPs are starting from 5.2, 192.168.5.2, 5.3, like that. We can assign any IP to these other devices. So now you must aware that if we just consider a single network, a LAN, local area network, there are 4 main IPs, IP types, which assign with the network. The first one is network IP that represent the network. It is used to identify the network actually. Again, gateway IP, sorry, broadcast IP is used to represent all the devices in the network. Gateway IP, the gateway is a point where the data or the computer's devices want access through the gateway to the outside. Right, children. Now, this network IP is very important. That is because all these routers, they are going to keep a record of this network using this network IP. So all these routers will be automatically updated when we just assign IP address to the network. And each of these routers, they know where this 192.168.5.0 network is. So from this computer, if I want to send data to there, so this router knows 192.168.5.0 a network is there, and to send a data, we have here the router has to send that through this router or this router. So normally what router do is it will identify the best path to send. Now identify karna best path එක මේක යවන්න. ඒතර එයා එක බලලා බලනවා මේ දෙකෙන් තමයි කනෙක්ට් වෙන්නේ, මේ පැත්තෙන් traffic අඩුම පැත්ත බලලා forward කරනවා. මෙයා ගාවට එනවා. මෙයාත් දන්නවා මේ කනෙක්ට් ලා දෙන්නේ මෙහෙන් කියන්නේ. එයා ඒ පැත්තට forward කරනවා. forward කරන්නේ කොහටද මේ 192.168.5.0 කියන network එක. So like that, this network address is used by routers to keep track of the locations. So internet එක ඇතුලේ මේගොල්ලෝ කොහාටද මේ data යන්න ඕනේ කියන summary එක තියාගන්නේ මේ network IPs භාවිතා කරලා. ඒක කරන්නේ routers වලින්. Right. Children, now you must aware about these IP types. So for if we consider one single network, all these 4 IP types are applicable to that network. Even for this network, all these 4 IPs are there. For this also the same. Okay. Right. So now, if we just if you just look into look at an IP address, you must be able to identify all these 4 IP address types. Right. Let's try. If I write an IP like 193.5.7.8. So this is an IP address. I want you to find the network IP of this, sorry, subnet mask, network IP, network IP, broadcast IP, gateway IP, host IP range. Okay, children, what should be the subnet mask? Here the first number is 193. So this is a class C IP address. Then subnet mask should be 255.255.255.0. Network IP. What should be the network IP? Because the subnet mask is this one, we can't change these portions. Right? අපිට මේ තුන වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. we can use only this part. In this portion, the first or the lowest IP address will be 193.5.7.0, right? Again, broadcast maximum one 5.7.255. Gateway 193.5.7.1. Host range 7.22. $254, right? So just looking at an IP address, you must be able to identify these details. network එකක් ගත්තොත් කම්පියුටර්ස් ගොඩක් තියෙන බලා ඒකේ IP එකක් තමයි මේක. ඊටු ඩීටේල් තමයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. අනිත් IPs වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ රේන්ජ් එකේ IP එකක්. So this is just an IP address of a host. Right, another example.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh,
So අපිට මේ device ගන්න දීලා තියෙනවා නම් host range එකක් ඕනේ නැහැ නේද?
device ගාන දීලා තියෙනවා නම් host range එකක් ඕනේ නැහැ. මට ඒක පැහැදිලි නැහැ පුතේ ප්‍රශ්නේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අපිට දැන් අපිට device 8ක් දීලා තියෙනවා නම් එතකොට host දෙන්න ඕන device 8කට විතරයිනේ. එතකොට අපිට receiver ඕනේ නැහැ.
ඕනේ. එහෙම ඕනේ නැහැ. දැන් අපි අර network එකක් විදිහට හිතුවාම available ගාන තමයි කතා කරන්නේ. හරිද? ඊළඟ IP එක මේක. This is an IP. මේක IP එකක්. අර වගේම network එකක තියෙන computer එක IP එකක්. මේක computer එක IP එකක්. හරිද? හරි. මට කියන්න subnet mask එක. හරිද? මම gateway එකයි network IP එකයි explain කරන්න කියලා තියෙනවා. So gateway IP is this place, right? Gateway ගැන මෙතන. මේ ඕනම කෙනෙක් එළියට යන්න ඕන මේ point එකෙන්. So if this computer needs to access a computer here, that computer must go through this point. If they need to access data from outside the network, where they should go, that is the gateway. මේගොල්ලෝ එළියට යන තැන. Network means these routers here. The device, other devices, how to find this network. So, for example, as the name of the network, right? To identify the network IP is used. So all these routers identify this network by the network IP address. So if they want to forward a data, that is how they know this network is there in this location like that. So then the purpose of network IP is to identify the relevant network. Right, children. So what's the subnet mask? This is class BIP. So then 255.0.0. Network IP. Yes, network IP is 175.30.0.0. Yes. Because this part we can't change. We have these two portions, so all these portions must be in the lowest number. Broadcast IP 175.30. Here 255.254. How that happen? අපිට දැන් මේ part දෙකනේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒක 0.0 0.1 0.2 255. ඊළඟට පටන් ගන්නවා 1 1 1.2 1.3 1.255 දක්වා යනවා 2.1 2 sorry 2.0 නැත් බිංදුවෙන් පටන් ගන්න 1 2 2.1 2.255 like that this goes up to 255.0 255.1 255.254 is the last sorry 255 is the number 255 then gateway 175.30.0.1 host range is 175.30.0.22 175.30.255.254 host IP range starting from 2 we can write 65,536 IP addresses in this net class B network.
Excuse me sir.
Oh.
මේ range එකේ එතකොට මේ first IP එකයි last IP එකයි ගණන් ගන්න නැහැ නේද? ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ දෙක අරකට
යනවා. sorry. මේකයි ගන්නෙ නැහැ. These IPs are called as usable IPs. Usable IPs වලින් පළවෙනි එක gateway. We're going to appoint that IP address to here, assign that to here. It's a gateway. All these connections, if these devices going to access outside, they have to go through the gateway. And these are host IPs. Host IP range. We can assign any IP from this range to our devices. Right, children. Then some other protocols also there. We call them for different purposes. Like first one is file transfer protocol. We use that to transfer file from one computer to another. Secure shell and telnet. So these are remote access protocols. These protocols explain how we can remotely access a computer. Again, email, SMTP and POP3. So those protocols explain how email service works in a computer network. Domain name system. So I'll explain domain name system and DHCP. Right, HTTP is web. So if you're gonna view a website or if you're gonna host a website, so this protocol will apply. Hypertext transfer protocol. Network time protocol, this will keep or update the time in the network. Right, now children, DNS. Before that, DHCP. So DHCP is something like this. If you're going to access internet, assume that these are computers. Switch is there, a router, and internet. So each of these computer must have 4 IP configurations. So if I show you,
Oh. Wow. Oh. Well,
see children, here I have to assign an IP address, subnet mask, gateway, and a DNS. These 4 IP configurations must be provided to a computer, otherwise we can't access internet. So there are 2 methods that we can use to assign or apply these IP configurations to a computer. So we have to assign an IP address, subnet mask, gateway, and DNS. I'll explain DNS later. So these 4 configurations has to be provided to a computer, for each computer to access internet. So if you are the administrator of this network, what you have to do, you have to go to each computer, log into that, and update this IP configuration in each computer manually. So that is somewhat complex task for an administrator. If the number of computers in the network is higher, then that is very difficult. For example, consider that the mobile phones, right? I think you all are using data in your mobile phones. You're going to connect to internet using your mobile phones, but you have never assigned an IP address to that, right? Because there are thousands of mobile phones connect to one tower. So then the IP address and all these configurations is compulsory to have an internet connection or to have an active internet connection. So even your mobile phone also must have these IP configurations. So in that case, what happened? There is a server which is called DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Server, protocol server. This DHCP server can assign IP addresses to a computer automatically. So if I have changed my IP configuration settings, these IP configuration settings to obtain IP automatically. If I choose this option, a DHCP server in my network will provide IP addresses to my computer. So when I'm going to connect Wi-Fi, I have given it to access automatically. Even if you have a router in your home, you are not going to assign IP address to your computer, right? You are just going to connect that to the Wi-Fi network. That's all. So DHCP service is running in your Wi-Fi router, and that will automatically assign these IP details into your computer. So DHCP is dynamic host configuration. So what happened when we just connect a new computer to the network? Assume that we are going to connect a new computer here. So I'm going to connect a new one. This is the new device. Then what will happen? This device will broadcast the message asking, is there an IP DHCP server? So that message will be broadcast to all the connected devices in the network. And DHCP server also will receive that message, and this will reply to that computer, yes, I am the DHCP server of this network. Then the relevant computer will again request IP details from the DHCP server. After that, DHCP server will provide IP configurations to the computer. So then this will update itself, and then it can connect to the internet. So like that, even I remove this computer from the network, the relevant IP address will be again assigned to the pool. This will be removed. So like that, dynamically, IP address will be assigned from a DHCP server. Machines connect IP configurations then you will see. Okay. Last one is DNS. So children, assume that this is a laptop, and this is my laptop. I'm going to access internet. All right, everyone. Now listen very carefully. If I go into host a website, right? So all the websites that which are registered or that we can access in internet must follow this method before starting. Okay. So assume that we are going to host a website. So we have now purchased a computer and we have already developed the website and we have installed or we have saved that in the computer and install a web server application. This is called the web server. So web server means using a web server, we can publish this website to the others. So then others can view this website. The web server will follow HTTP protocol and allow others to access the website. However, the name that we're going to use for this website is abc.lk. So we can't just assign this kind of a host name to a computer if that is going to be accessed through the internet. Internet through me access කරන්න යනවා නම් අපිට නිකම්ම අපි abc.lk තමයි දාන්න කියලා හැම ඉන්න බෑ. We have to register this one. If I am to use .lk as my top level domain, then I have to register this name abc.lk in this lk domain registry. Assume that this IP of this one is 200.5.1.1. This computer must have an IP address, otherwise it can't access internet. Okay, so then what I should do, I must contact .lk registry and register my website. So then I am going to enter and record saying that abc.lk is 205.1.1. That record will be there in the LK domain registry. We have to pay and register, right? We can do it online. We have to pay and register. Now this LK registry, our record is there. So these are DNS servers and these also DNS servers. .lk.com, these are called as top level DNS servers. .com, .org, .net, .gov, .uk, .in, India, .jp, Japan, right? Country-wise top level domains are there. Again, some organizational category type top level domains also there. .com is commercial. .org, non-profit organizations. .gov, government. .edu, educational websites. So like that, those are category-based top level domains. We can register under any top level domains. Okay, no restrictions. If we gonna register under .lk, it is possible. If you're going to register under .com, that is also possible, right? Okay. Now we have assumed that we have registered our website here in the .lk domain. So these computers are maintained by different companies. Okay, may servers maintained by different companies. Again, these are ISP servers, ISP DNS. Like that, there are several other companies who maintain DNS servers. Now assume that we have SLT internet. So SLT people also have a DNS server. This is SLT, ISP means SLT. So this is SLT DNS. So those are bottom level DNS servers. So මෙයාලට මෙහෙම මේකක් නැහැ .com .lk වගේ යාලට එහෙම registry-යක් නැහැ. They are just DNS servers which runs the DNS service. These are called as top level domain registries, root servers. These are called as root servers. So these root servers are maintained by different companies. Okay, right. Now if this I am to access, if I'm going to access abc.lk from this computer, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the browser and type abc.lk. Then what will happen? Subhash, there is no difference. The only difference is .lk is a country level domain. .com is a commercial type domain, categorical domain. එකම තමයි LK කියන්නේ ලංකාවේ කියන එක. .com කියන්නේ commercial කියන එක. .in use කරොත් India කියන එක. .org use කරොත් non-profit organization. So like that, country level domains and commercial level domains are there. If you like to register in LK domain, you can do that. If you like to register in .com registry, that is also possible. That depends on your preference. Okay, there is no any other difference. Okay, so then this computer will go to his DNS server, which is mentioned in his network configurations. අපි දැක්ක network configurations DNS අපි දෙනවා. So this will directly go to that DNS server and ask who is abc.lk. So now we just register the site. So this computer also don't know who is abc.lk. So then what this computer do? It's a .lk, right? abc.lk. Then this will go to lk root server and ask who is abc.lk. Now this root server has the IP address. Then this will reply. This is reply. That is 205.1.1 like that. Now this will update itself with the record and inform the relevant computer that abc.lk is 200.5.1.1. Then this computer knows who is the website owner or the web server of the website. Then this can directly access the website. Because all the communication in a network, internet will happen with IP addresses. Using IP addresses, right? To find the relevant IP addresses of websites, DNS is used. In DNS, we have root servers, and bottom of that there are other bottom DNS servers. So like this, each server will update itself with the requests of users. According to the user request, the bottom level DNS servers will update themselves automatically. Okay. ඒගොල්ලෝ තමන් update කරගන්නවා එන request අනුව. Okay, very good question. So if I register abc.lk here, if I use abc.lk, another person can register abc.com. That is available. So they have registered that in .com registry. That is possible. Another, if someone else need to register the same name, abc.net, that is available, right? So then you have to use .net root server and register there. Same name but different top level domains. But no one can register abc.lk again. එහෙම කරන්න බෑ. Right, children. So now we have to stop from here. I'll just quickly explain the things, IP address and other protocols. We will have another lecture even in a night. Okay. So in this week, we are not going to have lectures tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Sometimes we may be able to have a lecture on Wednesday about networking, right? So we have just small things to discuss. So I will have another lecture, ITech 1132 subject on this Wednesday, but I'll inform that through the WhatsApp group. Okay. Okay, children, Danushka, operating system functions and operating system services both are same actually, but there are slight differences. Operating system functions, for example, memory management is operating system function. Similarly, managing a memory of a computer is a service. So like that, both are same, but we discussed them separately because normally a function is belong to the computer itself. A service is the interaction with the user and the computer. So there are differences. For if I explain that, like let's say, okay, running a program is a service. Running an application is a service. But to run that application, there are some functions to have. There are some functions to be executed inside the operating system, like memory management, process management. All these functions has to be executed to run a program. So like that, there are similarities, but a slight difference is there. Okay, a service is an interaction with the user. to provide the service, in some cases, multiple functions will be worked together, will be executed together. Okay. Right, children. So on Wednesday, I'll inform you whether we're going to have lectures or not. Again, today is the last week of our lecture series. Dean and the faculty will inform you when the exam is going to happen, right? I don't know. So, however, you will have another 3 weeks to weeks for practicals. I will use that 3 weeks to practice C, right? For the practical computing subject. Okay, children. So then, goodbye for today. Wednesday, we'll try to meet, right? I'll inform you when I am going to take the next lecture. So that will be the last lecture, okay? Right. So thank you for your participation, and I'll upload the video as soon as possible, so you can go through the video and understand more, because I just quickly went through the things, okay? Right then. So have a nice day. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir.